Hello and welcome. I am Nicole Arrington coming to you from Helena, Montana with Big Sky Cards. Today I am here to show you how to make this card using the Painted Poppy stamp set. Okay, or the stamp bundle. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to set these aside. I am going to start off with a piece of gray granite cardstock, and I am going to score at 4 1/4. This is a standard piece of cardstock at 5 1/2 by 8 1/2, so just a half sheet of cardstock. Alright, and then I am going to set this aside. I am going to take 2 pieces of cardstock. This is 2 by 5 1/2, and this is just a piece of scrap Bermuda Bay that I am going to stamp on. I will start with the gray granite, and let me get my stamps. So I'm going to use this poppy and the leaf stamp from Painted Poppies, and then I need my VersaMark. And what I'm going to do is I am going to VersaMark everything because I'm going to emboss these stamps with with white embossing powder. And then let me come in, I want substantial amount of leaf, and then I'll do another flower, and I'll fill in with the leaves. Oops, I want that maybe sideways. There we go. Come in upside down. Over here, go like that. Okay. I'm going to just quickly set that aside because then I'm also going to stamp my poppies that I will die cut out. Alright. And I wouldn't always recommend, doing tons and tons of VersaMark because it does eventually dry, and then the embossing powder doesn't stick to it. But the amount that we have stamped, we're going to be okay. I'm going to take white embossing powder. As you can see, mine is quite an old bottle from Stampin' Up from eons ago, and let me tell you, when I first got into embossing, I was had a little bit of sticker shock. Like, how could a bottle of embossing powder cost that much money? Little did I know, really, at the time, how long they last. I truly have only gone through a few bottles of embossing powder ever, and the only reason I have ever gone through any color is because I am making hundreds, and I really do mean hundreds of cards that that were like completely embossed, and white is not one of them. Alright, so let me set these aside because that's what I need, and I'm going to pull out my heat gun, and I'm going to go ahead and put them over and wait for the embossing powder to melt on there. And then just constantly kind of move it around. Once that powder has melt, you do want to keep it moving because these guns are very, 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 very hot. So you don't want to keep it in one spot too long. So things don't start to, say, smoke on us. All right. With that completed, we can now get out a little sponge dauber and our Bermuda Bay ink, and I'm going to go ahead and sponge just over the top, here and here, and I want a little bit more here, and a little bit more here, until you are happy with the look. Let me bring that in a little bit so you can just get a see. I mean, it's just a rough thing. There's no preciseness when it comes to sponging. All right, so before I did this video, I pre-cut out 2 of these flowers. So, yay, ta-da! The other thing I cut out from the die, the painted label die, was this label, the swirly circle, and then from the circles I just picked out another circle that matched the size of this because I will glue this underneath. And then, in addition, from another die set from the Poppy Moments, which all these they just really coordinate all together so well. I die cut some flower centers, and we will use those later. So before I fully assemble the card, I want to take my basic white cardstock and my Bermuda Bay ink, and I want to put my sentiment on my little swirly circle. And I used Happy Birthday from Here's a Card. This just has so many great sayings and phrases. So we went ahead and used it. Gave that a nice good stamp. And now I can set all this aside and assemble. So first thing I will do is I will get my multi-purpose glue and this is the one that Stampin' Up sells, but I have just put it into a fine tip bottle. And then I am just putting on some sides to make that Bermuda Bay just pop for us. And I will do it again over here. Okay, and the beauty about these pieces here is I have tons and tons of scrap pieces of cardstock this size because of the layering thing, and I love it when I can come up with ways to use them, and I am constantly trying to come up with ways to use little half-inch pieces of cardstock. So if you ever come across with an amazing way to use those pieces, let me know. I'm putting glue on this piece, so we want to adhere it down. And by the way, this is round 2 of making this card, because I made the last one and I turned it off at like 2 minutes in, so I had to roll my eyes at myself. How could I do such a silly thing and not notice? Went through, told. I just spent time talking in my craft room. Don't judge me. Obviously I needed it. I needed a moment of sanity. Away from everything. Alright, so we have that on there. We'll go ahead and glue this on. And then I will go ahead put that flower there. And that one here. Okay, then I'm going to take my little centers that are in gray granite, put them on, and put that one on. Give it, oh no, of course I've run off with my little center. La-di-da-di-da. Alright. Put my pen back in so my ink bottle doesn't die. And then what I'm going to take, or I've taken the Sella brush, and I've taken those little centers, and I have just covered them, or painted them in Stella, and it just gives the card center just a little bit of shine, and it's this just beautiful glitter. It just makes your cardstock shimmer. And rather than having to buy shimmer cardstock, you can just do it with a little paintbrush and get exactly what you want. So let me see. There, maybe you can see that. So see how they just shimmer, and it's just so beautiful, so simple. And then the other thing I'm gonna do is take my rhinestones, which I've got thousands of them. My goal is never to buy another rhinestone until I have dwindled out of them. I obviously prepared for an apocalyptic time frame in need of rhinestones. So I took my Stampin' Blends marker and just colored them so that they would match my cardstock. So let me take my Take a Pick tool, squeeze a little bit out. Once it starts coming out, pull off on it so all of the goop doesn't come out on you. And I'm just going to put a couple on. And one right there. Oop. You guys can't see it because I went off the page. Look at me. I've got talent, let me tell you. Alright, so here's our card, and didn't it just turn out really nice. Really simple, really nice, and quite elegant. If you would like any of these materials to make cards, please do not hesitate to contact me. I would be glad to be your demonstrator. My name is Nicole Arrington. You can visit my website at bigskycards.com. You can email me at bigskyscardsnicole@gmail.com, or continue to watch my videos. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to contact me. And thank you so much, and I would greatly appreciate your business. Have a great day. Bye.